And then I went and collected a bunch of shit.
Storm Eagle.
I am, however, certainly lucky that all of the
I'll show you how strong I am.
individual boss calls are a separate music file in the PSP's sound data.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, another fucking one up.
Yep. You're basically immortal.
Granted, like, IHX isn't exactly like the most difficult game in the world either.
Right.
It just feels like it at first because everything does a million fucking damage to you.
In some ways it feels harder than the original game, but then it feels a lot easier than the original game.
Especially now that everything reacts to their weaknesses more.
Mm-hmm. Like, Spark Mandrill is just so fucking easy. Even easier than the original version to stun lock to death. It's just kind of hilarious and sad.
Fuck you, bots. Man, not the hard tank, the sub tank in the stage is fucking chore to get.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
Because you need the right arm to get to it, and then it's got that 32-second time limit.
Which, by the way, good luck if the time limit runs out mid-jump here.
You have to hope for weapon ammo drops.
I'm noticing a lot fewer of those in this than in the original game. It's like more health drops and less weapon energy.
I don't know, I feel like the ratio is still skewed toward ammo drops. You have to make it all the way there with the right armor.
Yeah, it sucks.
A huge chore that nobody enjoys. Man, it sure doesn't take as much effort to respawn stuff.
No, basically just leave the screen, come back, stuff respawns. It's an artifact of the old X games.
Hell, I think the respawn was actually more generous than the original.
So it begins.
They cut out the part where you go through the ship in this version of the
I have
game.
no reason to fight you. We're in agreement there. I have no reason to fight you either.
But I'm gonna
In
anyway.
that case, stand down. You're just confused, File. That's all. I've always hated you, Stormy.
You hate everybody.
You and that smug face of yours. Step in a battle.
I know my bird face is.
Sure, just stand there and let Vile shoot you. That works.
Fantastic idea. That and Vile has the benefit of being able to more or less hang indefinitely in the air.
Yeah, if you can fire that shoulder cannon fast enough, you're not really going anywhere.
There's also some places that even require you to glide in such a fashion.
Not surprising. Yeah, I remember the original game where you, like, drop through the ship. Like, you go through the ship, through the boss door, down to the bottom level, drop out in the elevator, and then it takes you up to the top deck and starts exploding for some reason.
Long shot to Gizmo. Bang away bomb. Let's go burn some lizards.
Tonight we shall dine on fried iguana.
Sink Chameleon's weird messed up eye.
Right.
So close yet so far.
I wonder what the point of that is. What a dick move.
That is a pretty far-reaching flamethrower.
Yeah, now that you mention it. I mean, as far as video game flamethrowers go, real-life flamethrowers tend to have, you know, a fairly decent range. Alright, the sound of the logs coming out of the machine is really starting to bug me.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
It sounds like rubber squeaking.
Bullets!
All the bullets.
Does your right armor have bullets? I don't think so. And that is why it fails. Unlike there, how would you fucking know to jump out of your right armor there to get the sub tank?
I mean, let's be fair, it's not like none of the heart containers or anything were hidden like that in the original game. I mean, without the knowledge of, you know, decades of foresight, would you know to look for anything where they hide it in that game?
Kinda, sorta. Like getting the Buster upgrade, you can see the breakable blocks. Everything is kind of sort of clearly identified as like, hey, there's probably something if you go this way. Whereas with WoW, it's like, is there something here? Maybe. Like where the heart tank is for X in this stage, like there's just nothing there at all for WoW. It's just an empty room. Also, I don't think those like dragonfly enemies show up at all in X's game, do they?
I don't really remember.
Like, I feel like they didn't actually show up until like X2.
Maybe.
Woohoo! It's vile! I used to have nothing but respect for you, you know. In that case, get out of my way and let me
I said used to.
I don't think so. We're going to have to fight. If you say so, I won't let you or Sigma stand in my way.
Are you adding the eye glow there?
Yes. I'm surprised they didn't.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising.
Yeah, but what if I could shoot you with my weapon from anywhere in the room?
Yeah, you really can't argue with that. It's like a huge fuck-off version of Boomerang Cutter.
It gets bigger as it goes.
That's what she said.
Getting ever closer to my preferred weapon loadout. I got my preferred flamethrower, except it doesn't work underwater, so...
Oh yeah.
I'll show you how strong I am.
However, every other instance, it's pretty much like, fuck off.
This thing is pretty fucking good, yeah. Really short range, but holy shit. Does Flame Mammoth's weapon also fizzle out in the water?
Yes.
I think in X2, I think it is one of them, the fire weapon just makes bubbles underwater.
I know Bubble Crab's weapon makes bubbles in general.
These fish are surprisingly resilient.
If I was just like, wow, you made a huge mistake.
It really did. Like, you killed it way faster that way.
Like, look, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but I am filled to the brim with guns. So maybe you should have, like, rethought this plan a little tiny bit. Fuck you, submarine.
Holy shit.
And fuck you, Sea Dragon.
Wow, that's going quick. This thing still doesn't make any sense.
Wrecked. Why doesn't it make sense?
It's like a random sea serpent out of nowhere.
Well, it's guarding your room.
That thing is fucking powerful.
So I think the sub-tank in this stage is like just sitting on the surface of the fucking water. right before the second sea serpent. Another one of those cases, like, who would even fucking think of looking there unless they just jump all the time?
I mean, that is kind of a thing, jumping all the time.
Depending on who you are.
Well, look what the cat.
Stop with your fish puns.
You plan on betraying Sigma, do you? I'll tell you one thing. I don't like working for others.
How were you ever a Maverick hunter?
Or with others.
You're not half bad. I like you. I don't care if a pitiful fool like you likes me or not. I'll show you how an artiste fights.
Okay, I'll show you how a guy with a bunch of guns fights.
Spoilers, it involves shooting a lot of guns. It looks like you've disarmed him.
I hope you notice the muffled effect for being underwater.
Yes. Nice touch.
Fish in the background are like, wow, that dude's fucking crazy. And then next time on Radical Vile Hunter X.
Way more guns.